Twitter, man. They're talking about Shedeur Sanders might be getting traded, or they're fielding calls for him. Des Bryant said, I think he's a franchise quarterback, and getting him out of Cleveland, let me put this up right here, and getting him out of Cleveland will be a plus for him. The Saints would be a great fit for him. Now, here's the thing. We said the Saints would be a great fit for him when he first came out. I mean, when he was in the draft. But they decided to go with Tyler Shaw for whatever reason. Now, Shaw didn't have a bad season, but he's not a Shedeur Sanders. He's not doing for that city, community, area, franchise that Shedeur could do. Not no damn Tyler Shaw or anybody else out there for that matter. You saw the man just had $17 million from revenue outside of his jerseys. Top selling jersey in the NFL. Shiggity Shedeur Sanders. You imagine him down there in New Orleans. Shout out to all my New Orleans natives, man. Shout out to my Wardy, my folks, my Weebles, my Wobblations, whatever you want to call them. Wazam to my dog Greg and Weedats, Chicken and Shrimp, who really wanted Shedeur down there, came on the show and talked about how Shedeur was just revitalize the Saints and everything that they're doing down there. But let's listen to some of these Dorkomaniacs talk and see what they're talking about right here.
Talks, ongoing calls about the availability of Shedeur Sanders. The Browns, for whatever.
Why wouldn't there be? They know the Browns going to mess stuff up and F it up at the end of the day. So why wouldn't they call and ask for Shedeur Sanders? That's what I would do too. I mean, we need to be calling the Browns, man, because they might just trade them. They might just trade them. There are talks going on. There are talks and ongoing calls about the availability of Shedeur Sanders right now. Riz's antenna is up about the Browns QB situation.
For whatever reason, right now. Don't think he's the guy. That's my opinion. And I'm sure they'll say, what are you talking about? He's in a quarterback battle. Okay. But I'm going to
he said, okay, as if it's not a real quarterback battle. Okay.
Say right now, for the record, I don't think the 4 quarterbacks are going to camp on July 20th.
Well, we said that on the morning run. Not all 4 of them. And we talked about Taylor Green is a definite. We're going to keep him. He's the future insurance policy just in case a lot of things don't work out. Deshaun Watson is the guy we paid a whole bunch of money to that we must try to get something out of. Shedeur Sanders has everything around him that we really want in a quarterback. All we need to do is see him perform on the field, which we know he can. But we have to put the pieces around him, though, which we think we've done. So now it's just on us to give him a chance to do that with the pieces we put around him. But we are still the Cleveland Browns. We drafted Dylan Gabriel in the 3rd round. We got to save face somehow. So the best thing we can do is we got to trade somebody. Do we save face and keep Dylan Gabriel on the roster? Do we see what Deshaun has and see if he can up his value and we could trade Deshaun? I think that'll be ideal for them. Or we trade Shedeur and ride with one of these other guys. Cleveland Browns, they might do some Cleveland Brown stuff. I'm rooting for them to do the right damn thing, and hopefully GM Andrew Berry is seeing the light like he's been doing in these drafts and these trades. He'll understand what he has at the quarterback position, which I think he does. I have faith in Andrew Berry. I think he's going to do the right thing, and one of these quarterbacks has to go. And right now, I think forget trying to save face. See what you can get for Dylan Gabriel to improve this team furthermore. See what you can get. See how productive Deshaun Watson can be, and that way you can get something for him that will improve this team in the future. And I think the Cleveland Browns would be in the best situation possible if they go into this season. And I say next season also, you have on the roster Shedeur Sanders as your quarterback, Taylor Green as your backup quarterback. Those are your quarterbacks for the future right there. Shedeur Sanders and Taylor Green. Deshaun Watson will be somewhere else next year. Dylan Gabriel will be somewhere else next year. But let's see what y'all say.
Would I trade Shedeur Sanders if I'm Cleveland? Just based on the money he's bringing in on merch and jersey sales alone, no. As somebody watched him at CU and thought unbiasedly, like he's got some of the tools to be an NFL quarterback. Has anybody watched Deshaun Watson the last few years? He was terrible and he was injured. Monken's a good fit to develop him, and I think that's been the biggest problem so far. If you recall, Pat Shurmur was his offensive coordinator at CU.
That's a shot at Coach Pat. Damn.
Because I thought he was one of the worst offensive coordinators I've ever watched, and that's the guy who developed him the last 2 years at CU. So I don't think Sean Payton would be a good coach for Shedeur. Who would be a good coach for Shedeur? I'm going to say I think it's Todd Monken towards the end.
I like Todd Monken too because of his personal ability. You know, Shedeur likes that. Shedeur can understand that. Shedeur feeds off of that. Shedeur says, you know, like didn't Shedeur say that's how he operates? That's how he, you know, he runs off of relationships.
Shedeur, as far as on the field as a quarterback, and what ways what's the way Todd maybe has helped you and benefited you the most in what you do on the field?
I'd say relationship. I never want to let my coaches down at all at any point. You know, even if it may look like a good day, if I know internally like it's a couple of things I messed up on, it's just a relationship. That's what I'm based off of, and that's what I appreciate a lot. All these coaches, you know, having that relationship, and we know everything coming from like a get better standpoint, you know, and just being able to talk. So if I miss a throw out there, it's like, dang, I don't even want to talk to the coach. I'm like, I let him down, you know. But I think that's just how we all feel on this team. Like we love Coach Monken and all the coaches that's with him.
And understanding people, and that's why he said he doesn't want to let Coach Monken down. You know, when he understands that somebody cares for him about his well-being, about his success, he don't want to let them down. He wants to perform for them also. That's another why, you know. Believes the Browns could trade Shedeur Sanders before the 2026 season, framing it as his personal theory while suggesting Watson will ultimately remain the quarterback. Well, if that's what they think, let them think that. If they want to trade Shedeur, you know, Shedeur going to Shedeur no matter where he is. The Browns would be dumb as a sack of rocks to do that after what he's brought in. He's basically offset damn near what you've paid Deshaun Watson. So why not keep him there to continue to have a chance? Imagine if he's winning. Imagine if he's winning in Cleveland. Y'all think they're making some money now. Y'all think it's crazy in Cleveland. Imagine if they're winning in Cleveland with Shedeur as the quarterback. It's going to be some haterations and some hollerations in this dancery, and I'm not worried about it. Y'all know how I'm coming. We are dub CPing over here. We ride with Coach Prime and Shedeur Sanders in the whole game. You know what I mean? He started 7 games last year as a 5th rounder who was 4th string. When does that ever happen? He's been given more of an opportunity with the Browns than any other team would have given him, and yet already they're ready to get him out of there. I'm sorry, but I think if you're demanding a trade, if he doesn't win the job, I think you're barking up the wrong tree. What one of these guys right here.
The brother's willing to just bend over backwards and make every single excuse possible for Brennan Sorsby. I mean, coming out of your mouth, it's absolutely ridiculous. But you've spoken out of both sides of your mouth for a long time, so I'm not really surprised by that. But I mean, you're bringing up all the other stuff. I don't think if you want me to turn on the Shedeur fan in general, I don't think it's a very controversial thing to say. I don't know if the man in the trade's the very best move if Deshaun Watson ends up being the starter. There's definitely reasons why a new head coach would think of Deshaun Watson being the starter, but I don't think that that's a reason to demand a trade. But I think that with the people who would...
My Shedeur demanding a trade? If Deshaun is... Man, Shedeur, I don't think Shedeur is going to demand a trade. Shedeur is going to... First of all, he's going to win the job. If he doesn't win the job, he's going to know that this is business. Should Deshaun have his chance to play whatever it is, I don't think Shedeur go in there and try to demand a trade. That's just my opinion.
Shedeur, do you plan on hosting a workout prior to training camp with teammates, or are you going to attend Deshaun's?
What do you mean attend Deshaun's?
I think he's having a workout for teammates in South Florida.
I just think that was just a question to try to start something, honestly.
It really isn't.
I think we're a team. If one of us chooses to do something, we all going to do it together as a team. It's not no individual thing. So that's the thing. Like the quarterback room, like we all connected. We all cool. That's the difference. Like we all cool. We all communicate with each other. Hey, there's nobody's single individual idea because that creates separation with okay, now what receivers gonna show up for this guy? Nah, we all a team. We all gonna come as one. We all gonna get together as one team and get things done. Cause then that's what that causes separation and just a messed up vibe. And it's like that's not really what we on this year. We on like being a great team.